So, before I begin, I request all of you to close your eyes and picture this. Imagine a house before sunrise. There is a family function today. The floor at the entrance has been freshly washed, but somebody is awake before everyone else, bending down and carefully drawing a column at the entrance. Hold that image. Now open your eyes. I never mentioned any gender, but you immediately pictured a woman there, and that is where my conversation begins. This is Preetika S. from Chennai Institute of Technology, and I would like to talk about the silent weight of culture on women. Today, I do not speak about women. I speak as a woman. And when a woman speaks about culture, it is never abstract. It is personal. So culture is something that is beautiful, something that needs to be protected and preserved. It gives us identity, a sense of belonging. But somewhere along the way, culture is not something we inherit. It became something society interprets. And these interpretations turned into expectations. These expectations somehow weighed only on one half of humanity, women. From a very young age, girls are taught to be carriers of culture, but these are not taught through written rules in books. These are not taught through written laws. These are quietly taught at dinner table comments, at family gatherings, and through what is praised and through what is punished. As girls, we are taught to lower our voices. As young women, we are taught to lower our dreams. And as wives and daughters, we are taught to lower our expectations. And this lifelong adjustment is glorified today as culture. So India is a land of different traditions and different culture, right? But across regions, religions, and homes, one thing feels eerily familiar. When culture feels threatened, we immediately question a woman. When culture shifted, we questioned a woman. When clothes changed, we again questioned a woman. So when something goes wrong in the society, it is very easy for us to ask questions like, what was she wearing that day? Why was she out so late? Who was she with? Instead of questioning the actual flaws in society. So this gender bias is so alarming that when a man comes home late from work, he's considered hardworking. But when a woman comes home late, she's considered careless. A man shows anger, strong. A woman shows anger, rude. A man building a life for himself is independent, but when a woman does the same, she is labeled selfish. So culture teaches us these differences long before we learn how to question them, and slowly, very slowly, it stops being something you celebrate and it becomes something you carry. We've all heard this. Adjust your clothes for family honor. Lower your voice to show some respect. Put your dreams on hold because marriage is waiting. And slowly, a woman stops living her life and she starts calculating it. She calculates her steps, her words, her choices, and clothes. So she does not live her life. She manages it. It is so unfortunate that we come from a society that once killed babies just because they were born girls. We come from a society that burned young women alive just because their husbands died. Yes, laws did change, times have changed, but the cost is still being paid quietly, daily, and only by her. We often say that men help nowadays, right? Yes, many do, but help is not the same as responsibility, and that responsibility has never shifted. The emotional labor, the planning, the maintaining, hosting relatives, managing relationships still quietly rests only on her. So culture is not just practiced, it is mentally carried. Do I even start talking about the marital duties a woman has to pay in the name of culture? So, a woman is expected to follow a particular culture until she gets married. But once she gets married, she has to adapt to a new different house, different culture, different traditions, but the same silence. Rituals celebrate her but also objectify her. And when she questions this, the reply has always been, this is how things work. We live in a society where we celebrate women as goddesses, yet call them impure during menstruation. I still remember the day my body had changed before my life was ready for it. There were immediate instructions. Don't enter the puja room. Don't touch this. Don't talk about it. Suddenly, I turned from being a child into being a responsibility. And that day, that particular day, society did not welcome me into womanhood. It warned me. So we often say that we've given freedom to women. Women are getting educated, they are getting jobs, while not understanding the fact that freedom is being snatched from us every day in the name of concern and culture. Let me share something personal. My grandparents have 5 daughters. 5 daughters who love for them and care for them, and they open their homes without hesitation. Yet, even today, they feel bad for not having a son to take care of them. But this is not due to lack of love. This is not because they feel unwanted. But somewhere along the way, society has taught them that something that belongs to your daughters is no longer yours once she gets married, and only a son is worthy to take care of you. This is how deep this runs. So deep that love needs to be wrapped in shame. So deep that even today I watch 2 people feeling guilty for a failure that never existed. For generations, cinema has taught women who they must be to be worthy of love, success, or even existence. The so-called cultural woman in cinema cannot simply be. She needs to be fair, thin, flawless, soft-spoken, but not too outspoken, ambitious, but not too ambitious than the hero, maybe a little strong, but only until it threatens a man's ego. So cinema did not just reflect society, it trained society. So young girls grew up learning, if I look like her, behave like her, and sacrifice like her, I will be loved. And boys grew up learning, this is what a woman should tolerate. And that is not storytelling, that is social programming. And when a woman fails to fit that role, she does not think the role is wrong. She thinks she is wrong. So culture did not just live in festivals and traditions. It lived in every opportunities declined, in every deadlines missed, and in every time a woman's confidence was quietly crushed. She hesitates to negotiate salary because she is taught to be grateful. She needs to work twice as hard, even to be taken half as seriously. And she plans her career around marriage timelines instead of talent timelines. So when society expects women to adjust instead of advance, to compromise instead of compete, success becomes conditional. How many innovators never started? How many leaders never led? And how many voices never spoke? This was not due to lack of talent. This was because their energy was spent surviving expectations instead of building excellence. So what can we do? We don't need society to punish women for ambition. We need society to accept women for their achievements. Before I end my speech, I'd like to recite a famous poem by Bharadiyar. In fact, this was the reason this inspired me to take this particular topic. விலகி வீட்டில் ஒரு பொந்தில் வளர்வதை வீர பெண்கள் விரைவில் ஒழிப்பராம், சாத்திரங்கள் பல பல கற்பராம், சௌரியங்கள் பல பல செய்வராம், மூத்த பொய்மைகள் யாவும் அழிப்பராம், மூட கட்டுகள் யாவும் தகர்ப்பராம், காத்து மானிடர் செய்கை அனைத்தையும் கடவுளிற்கினிதாக சமைப்பராம், where he explains how a woman should break the stereotypes set by the society in the name of concern and culture. So culture should not suffocate. It should allow women for their achievements and ambitions. So maybe culture does not need women to adjust to it or carry it. Maybe culture needs to learn how to walk beside them. And today, I do not speak for myself. I speak for millions of women whose voices were never heard, and those voices are no longer bound because we are done whispering. Thank you.